Greetings everyone, we are Scorch, and we have an important message for you. We would like to build for Nigeria a renewable energy grid that uses the sun, solar energy to power the community. Because there's some old people who are bent on keeping Nigeria in the dark ages. And so I think it is eminent and more important now more than ever for Nigerians to come together and start implementing the changes that they're expecting old people to do for them. Because the future is your future. These old folks are not going to have any part in the future. Like, they'll be dead before they know it. So instead of citizens complaining about the incompetency of the government, why don't we just come together and start solving the situation and solving all our challenges? And the first thing we have to do is build a renewable energy grid that uses the solar energy to generate electricity, which is just like the logical thing. Yeah, they're surrounded everywhere. Because there are some old people who are bent and going to extreme measures just so they can keep making oil money. If they have to ban importation of electric cars, they will do that just so they can keep making oil money. And they're already planning to blow up the grid or collapse the electric grid in Nigeria just so they can keep selling oil. Because no one outside Nigeria or no one is really interested in buying petrol. America has enough petrol, and Americans are already selling petrol. As a matter of fact, Americans are selling petrol now to India, who is Nigeria's previous largest importer of our oil. So India is no more buying petrol from Nigeria. America is now selling the petrol to India. Russia, China, everyone has oil, and they are leaving oil behind to start focusing on renewable energy. But Nigerians is just still bent on taking this oil money, and even to the extent that they're willing to collapse the power grid just to do that. So I think it's time that we come together and install a power grid. It's a simple technique. We just need to connect a lithium battery with a solar panel and have enough that is capable of carrying fuel community with electricity, and free of charge. If we install it ourselves, we can do it free of charge. And I don't know what you're thinking. Perhaps you're thinking we're trying to make your money, but the truth about it is that we don't even give a fuck. If you want to do it, just go ahead and do it yourself. Get a lithium battery, stack enough, and try to harness the power of the sun and use to, power your homes. Instead of expecting for these old folks to do it for you, because they're not going to do it for you. They're already making the message clear that they want to still make oil money, despite the fact that the whole world is leaving oil behind. Nigerians are now investing and building a refinery. Who are you trying to sell the oil to if not Nigerians? And very soon they plan to remove subsidy. And when they take off the subsidy, citizens are not going to be comfortable when that happens. And we're already in the middle of a planetary shift where the environment is changing. If you've noticed that part of Lagos is already underwater, and very soon, in 5 to 10 years, part of Lagos will already be immersed inside the ocean. And in 10 years, within that time, parts of the country or part of the world will be experiencing a mini ice age. So it will be extremely cold in some regions of the planet and extremely hot in some regions of the planet. So you don't want to be in Nigeria, and in Nigeria under extreme heat and a very intense heat wave without electricity or be running generator. You could really literally blow up with the excessive extreme amount of heat coming from the sun if you still stick to petroleum source as your energy grid. So we have to get rid of the petroleum and the generators so the planet can be more habitable, because the CO2 emission is not going to make your environment cooler when this heat wave arrives. So we have enough time to put ourselves together. We need a little finesse, and we can do this. If 1 million Nigerians bring 10,000 naira, that's over $1 billion, and we can start from there. From different community to different community, we can start harnessing energy from the sun and distributing it for everyone free of charge. So we don't have to start tackling going into conquest with all these wealthy old folks who are just still stuck in the old world. And the truth of the matter is that none of them will make it into the future. They'll be dead soon. So it's our future that we're securing. And to those of you who have children, I think it's time that you pay attention to what we're saying. They're going to blow up the electric power grids just to sell more petrol, and you don't want to be spending 3 times the amount of money you're currently spending on petroleum in time when it'll be under extreme heat. And trust me, you really need to get into the new electronics coming in, because wireless electricity is already afoot, and we should have wireless electricity in 3 years. So stop waiting for old folks. Let's do it together. Namaste.